Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm coming to you live today from the animal clinic here in Sununa. So today's the day where we are coming together to help the animals. So in this video, I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you what's going on. I'm going to show you some of the people who are waiting. I know it sounds bad. Let's go investigate the pups. So those pups are actually crying because they are some street dogs. A volunteer, a tourist, just caught a street dog and brought a street dog. So let's go find them. Let's go take a little walk around. So I'm here at Hotel Chocomeal. You guys have maybe heard about this place before from my work with Daisy. We do the elderly feeding project out of this space. We do now the clinics here in Sununa out of this space. It's a beautiful old hotel that has been refurbished and is now being used for some community activities. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oh, I think I know you from San Marcos. Hi. I'm sorry. Are you having a tough time? So he's waiting in line. So, yep, it's a boy. It's a boy. He's like, oh, Stella. I know, buddy. I know, but you know, this is going to be better for you in the long run. I know. So, the thing about this guy is that the person is renting an Airbnb, and this is one of the dogs that's there by the Airbnb. So they brought him in. I know it sucks, but it's better for you in the long run. And so that person is going to then take responsibility for making sure he's looked after and taken care of over the next couple days. So this is an important service. I know it's hard in the moment. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, oh, this is, you're causing suffering. This is not good for the animals. But in reality, that's kind of like the up close view. The bigger picture view of the situation is that an overpopulation of animals creates a lot of suffering. Overpopulation of animals means a lot of sick animals, suffering animals, unnecessary deaths of animals. I have seen with my own eyes girl dogs in heat getting essentially raped by a group of boy dogs, beaten. It's really violent. It's really sad to watch. And then puppies, my puppies have been very lucky to receive such nurturing and support. Most puppies don't get that. Most puppies scavenge. Most puppies get lost. Most puppies don't survive. So it's a really, really tough situation that we're trying to help out. So hi everyone. So I put the link below. It says help the pups, and there's a link to a GoFundMe page. That's our fundraiser. We're trying to raise $2,000 to fund this clinic. We fund the clinic, but then that also goes to dog food. So we're buying dog food. So you maybe have seen the dogs at the street corner. We are seeding about 200 pounds of dog food at that street corner every single month, thanks to donations from this page that I'm sharing. So if you wanted to help out the puppies that I've been caring for and you didn't get the chance, and I really appreciate those who were able to donate to the puppy packs. If you wanted to help out but you didn't get to, this is where you can put that love and care towards this fundraiser for the animals. So let's go back. Nice, Bethany. I love that. Look at this. Bethany says, I'm going to go donate real quick and be right back. I'm grateful to be able to share my blessings. And that's exactly a beautiful way to hold the energy of you have blessings. You have blessings. Even if you feel poor in the United States, you still have blessings that you can share with others. And in fact, when you share your blessings multiply. So that's what being in abundance means. Scarcity. The scarcity mindset means I have to hold on and be really tight because it's not coming again and there's not enough, and so I have to hold on tight and I can't give. Whereas when we are in a spirit of giving, we're in a spirit of trusting that more is coming, that we are part of the flow, and that to give is also to receive, and that it's like breathing, right? So here's an opportunity for you to practice that. So actually that's my friend Vanessa. She brought her dog in today. So he's about to get taken in. All right, bye guys. Are you heading home?
Yes.
Cool. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, let's keep going. All right. So we have some families here with their dogs. Oh, look at the dog. Oh, that's really cute. cariñoso. Ay. ¿Cómo se llama tu perro? ¿Cómo se llama tu perro? Hola. Hola. ¿Número 8? Te llamas número 8. Hola 8. Hola 8. Sakash 8. Qué bueno. ¿Dónde vives? ¿Aquí? ¿Arriba? Ah, qué bueno. ¿En Chinimuhuyu? No.
Solo aquí cerca.
Ah, okay. ¿Cómo se llama este lugar? Seju. Shesu. So Patuya, Shesu, Shinimuhuyu, Sahomel, Chopishk. No, ¿cómo? ¿Sí? Chopish.
¿Dónde vives?
Arriba de Patuya. Sí.
De ese lado.
Sí. Well, my skills are funny. Gracias por traer sus perros. Muchas gracias. So these locals, they brought their dogs, and so these are people who can't necessarily afford. They can't afford these medical services. This service could be like a week's worth of someone working full time. So in the United States, if you're working and you make, $500 a week, $1,000 a week, that's what this surgery would cost for you. So, and we have a Daisy. Hi, Daisy.
Hi everybody, good to see you guys again. Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for holding it down. I was on my High Vibe Tribe call this morning. I have this supporter page within this group. So we had our call this morning, and then I got off the call and came immediately here.
Excellent.
So yeah, do you want to give us an update on how it's going?
So we're doing our, I believe, third clinic here in Sununa. We did our first one at a space run by Perros Libres, but now we have our own space. We can do as many clinics as we can fundraise for because we have a space here that's available any day we want.
Yeah, you're the jefe, you're the boss.
Yeah, and no cost. Let's step out of the way. We've got somebody carrying a dog home because they can't walk after the operation.
Right.
And she's a friend of Gloria's. Do you guys know Gloria?
Yeah, they know Gloria.
Yeah, Gloria.
Gloria did a really good job. I sent Gloria out with some posters and stuff.
Hi to me. I love you guys.
Thanks, Michelle. She remembers when I could speak very little Spanish. Now I sound like growth. I'm growing.
We're all growing all the time. Yep.
Yeah, we sent Gloria out with some posters and have her go talk to people in the local. So in order to spread the word about the clinics, historically we've relied on the local government to go out with a loudspeaker and make an announcement.
Well, the municipality has big speakers that they use, but in San Marcos they're no longer doing that service for us. And yesterday they forgot to do it. Oops. I'm gonna run because lunch is here now for the vet team. But will you tell them about the megaphone?
Yeah.
We need a megaphone because we need to do our own announcements. We can't rely on them.
Hi. So here, let's just peek into what's happening with the vet techs right here. So pups are getting their pups are coming off the table. This is the vet team here. Stella, get out of the way. Hi, buddy. That's Carlos. He's a sweet human. Hola, amigos.
Hola.
Gracias por su servicio, por su trabajo. Bueno. So what Daisy was saying was that we're in a learning experience like everything. You do it, you try, you see what works, you pay attention to what works and what doesn't, and then you iterate and you try different things. So one thing that we're finding is that it's really not working for us to rely on the local government to make the announcements, because sometimes they don't do it, and then we don't get. So today we have a low turnout. In fact, we really only have locals here because Gloria went and told people, right? So what we're thinking is that we need to get our own megaphone, our own loudspeaker, and then we would equip Gloria to go. And so what's cool about Gloria is that she speaks not only Spanish but also the local dialect of Quechua, which is different than Spanish. It's very different. In fact, a lot of local people don't even speak Spanish. So we want to use some of the funds that we raise to buy that megaphone, which will help us serve and reach more people and animals. Amanda, no, the owners have not picked up the pups yet. In fact, because the vet had to come. And I have some updates about the puppies that I want to share with you guys. I'm not going to share it right now, but I will share that with you later today. I've definitely had some challenges with the puppies and some feelings, but I won't tell you about that now. But we are here, and what's important is that we're here helping the dogs in the way that we can, doing what we can, as we can, in a way that matters. And so you guys are part of this. We can't do this without you. We really need your help. So if you want to, if you love cute puppies, if you wanted to help my puppies, if you want to help puppies, in fact, some of the money that we're raising is Daisy has taken in 9 street puppies. So I've got the puppies that I have. Daisy has even more puppies from different street dog mothers, and so she's been doing an amazing job nurturing them. And as you know, there you take on expenses when you take on these things. So part of the money that we're raising today is also going to go to buy puppy food for those 9 puppies. So thank you. Let's go see what's happening with the volunteers. So remember, we can't do this without you. So if you can throw in $10, $20. $50 sponsors the surgery of 1 animal. So I brought my uke, so after this I'm going to make some music in here. So aquí es la habitación de los voluntarios. Hi guys, yay! So we got friends here sitting with the animals. Here's Amari. We're seeing her in action. We know Amari. She's our local vet tech in training who's been attending these clinics and comes and volunteers, and now she's giving the deworming medicine. Yeah, so we see young Amari in action. Good job. Great. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you for donating. Thank you, Bethany, for donating. Thank you, everyone, for donating and helping out. This is a really great initiative. Great. Awesome. Good job. So Stella's coming and holding down. She's being the quiet, calm presence. Yeah, so I told them about the megaphone. We want to get our megaphone. Oh, that's good. You got bananas.
So, is it pointing this way? So, these are bananas from my yard. They use the word criollo here, which I don't know what it means in English.
Sounds like local.
Local or free range or natural or something, not industrial. This did not come from a banana farm. This came from my house. And so they're like little bananas, just to give you a size idea. They're little bananas.
Little tiny banana
And so I brought the whole batch here, and we're going to share them with the locals who have brought their dogs here.
Yeah,
Get
nice.
a little potassium into the community. So
Good job. So yeah,
this is
yeah, there we go. Potassium in the community. That could be your mantra.
son pequeños.
And did you check them afterwards?
Good job. Good job. Oh, and
Nutrición.
Daisy, if you have any left over, if you want to leave them for the Thursday, we can give them to the
I will have
elderly.
more for you. These
Great.
are kind of on their last
Yeah,
day.
they are.
But I have 2 more of these at
Great.
my house.
Great.
We always keep them in the shade.
Nice.
Yeah, never in the sun, and they ripen in the shade. So they cut them when they're still green, and they ripen them in the shade. I've
Okay.
learned this being here.
Okay.
So we're gonna share these, and Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
If you can arrange transportation, I will give you a whole one of
Okay.
these,
Great.
and you can just slice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So aren't they
Great.
cute little bananas?
Holly says she loves you. I love it. Tiny little banana phone.
And
Hello.
they're
Hello.
so good.
So
These
sweet.
have so much more flavor than what you guys are all buying. Is being shipped green, and they give them a little radiation, I think, to help them ripen
Wow.
more quickly. And there are, all these laws about moving food. But
Wow.
these have so much flavor. I wish I could give you one.
So funny.
You guys have to come down
Yeah,
and eat them.
come down, help out, eat some little tiny bananas. We'll have a great
Anybody
time.
want some bananas?
Okay, so we'll go investigate this dog. So I know this guy sounds like I was walking. I was like, oh god, it sounds like hell in here. So this dog, he's okay. A lot of times people are like, why don't you contain your dogs and keep your dogs inside? you can't really. These are street dogs, and so this is a street dog who's essentially tied up, and the sounds that he's making are just the sounds of not having his freedom, you know. So, hey, buddy. Hi, cutie. Hi. Yay. Yeah, I know. But you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I know, and then you're gonna be back out, you're gonna be back home. Yeah, I know. And you're gonna get the medicines you need, and then you're not gonna get into fights anymore. Yeah, so, you know, and this is something that I think is part of the challenge. Part of the challenge when you're helping people in the way that actually helps them long term is sometimes they cry in the moment. Sometimes they, okay, hey, choo. Someone was saying, why don't you sit with him? Sitting with him isn't gonna help. He's expressing himself. You're free. Your feelings are welcome. You're allowed to express yourself. And I'm sorry you're going through a difficult moment, and it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be better off for it. So guys, this is the day. Need your help. You know, we really only need like 40 or 50 people to step up and help out. So there are 200 people watching. So if just a couple of you can throw into this, we can make it happen. So yeah, he is beautiful. He is I've seen this guy in San Marcos before. And you can see that he's not super skinny. That means that, you know, he's hanging out. He's got a good personality. He just wants his freedom. I know how he feels. I've definitely lived versions of my life where I didn't have my freedom. Granted, I wasn't tied up, but emotionally and energetically, I didn't have my freedom, and my soul was making that sound. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever have your soul cry out because it wants freedom? Okay, why don't we, let's see. Yeah. So bless his little doggy heart. Yeah, exactly. I feel for him. And you know what? You can't get around, you gotta go through. And so as I was saying, you know, sometimes in our journey with others, we have to take a stand and do things that are sometimes hard in the moment. Like stepping out of a dysfunctional relationship with someone who's really codependently attached to you. Like, I've had boyfriends. I remember I was in this like really toxic relationship with this guy in California, and when I wanted to leave, and like, because it wasn't good for me, he threatened to kill himself, right? And so for me, leaving felt really scary because it was putting him in this situation where he was going through all this stuff, and like, how could you do this to me? And like, he made sounds like that, and it was like, you know, I'm doing this because like, this isn't good for either one of us. Like, and it's hard to step into those moments where it feels like you're hurting someone else by making like a hard decision, and they might accuse you of being selfish, like, oh, this is wrong what you're doing, this is bad what you're doing, look how you're making me suffer. If it was right, if it was a good thing, then there wouldn't be any suffering. It's actually, no, sometimes the hardest choices that are really good in the long run involve a certain measure of suffering in the short term. And that is one of the biggest things that you and I have to learn to be able to sit with and stand with, and not try to fix it or make it better, and just be like, okay, this sucks right now, and it's gonna be okay. Just stick with it. Just stick with it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to control it. You just have to stick with it. Just stand with it. Hold your center and remember that you're loved, and this is all part of God's plan. You know, here we go. Let's look at some pretty flowers. And practice sitting with discomfort, knowing that it's all for the best. Oh, so pretty. Kim, how are your chickens doing? How are you doing? So pretty. Let's go see if there have been any updates to the construction. Hi, Stella, you're doing great. Yeah, I know, Crystal, I have followers who are dependent on me, which is also why I think it's really important that I be able to take time away and people don't freak out, you know? Because I know people want to like give their power over to me, but all I want to do is hand your power back to you. over and over and over again. I am handing your power back to you because it's yours. The paradox is that ultimately we're also powerless. We're powerless over people, places, and things. You can't control anything that happens. The only thing you can control is how well you stand in your own truth and how well you take care of yourself and how well you take care of your own thoughts and your own words and your own behaviors and actions. Those are the only things you can control. Everything else is not your responsibility. Oh, good, Kim. I'm so happy to hear that. Chickens are doing great. I can't wait to get mine. Okay, so cool. It looks like we're starting to see some construction here. So you guys, if you've seen, nice, Valsu, great. I'm happy you got with the medicine that you needed. Yeah, the soul screaming. So for those of you who have been watching the videos and have seen the birth of this idea of this hotel, this place where we're hosting the clinics, for those of you who don't know, I'll just give you a little bit of background. This hotel was built in the 80s. And it was built, I mean, kind of rustically. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's not the Ritz. Let's just say that's not the Ritz. It was functioning. It was a functioning hotel for I don't know how long, but at some point it was abandoned. It was abandoned for about 12 years. 12 years later, my friend Daisy, who owns a lot of real estate, she's really involved with real estate here in Guatemala. She's lived here for over 20 years. She really cares about the community and doing service projects. She doesn't have children, and so she decided to go all in, put everything she has into buying this place as her legacy project. So this is what will carry on her legacy in the place of like a human child. You know, on the High Vibe Tribe call this morning, we were talking about these different ways we can mother things. So not just people and humans. Like I have become a mother recently. I'm a mother of these puppies. You know. Daisy is a mother of these projects. So she bought this old abandoned hotel and now is in the process of renovating it. And her vision for this is to create the space for community projects. So for example, we're doing the animal clinics. Tomorrow we're hosting the elderly feeding project out of this space. And then in the future, what she wants to do when it's all renovated and set up, she wants to turn this into a space, an Airbnb, where you can come and stay here. And so people like you come and stay and pay full Airbnb price. And now the other people who can come and stay are women from this community who are experiencing domestic violence. So this will be a safe place, a safe point of caring within the community where women can come with their children. Hi, Tony. Women can come with their children and have a space for economic opportunity and most of all safety. A place where their children can mingle with the children, like your children, like children from different countries and cultures and economic strata can come and be together and play together. So it's a beautiful vision that she has, and it's a really, really big project. So I'm sure, you know, as we go on with the clinics here, we'll touch base and we'll see like how it's developing, and who knows, maybe one day you'll come and stay here and help out with the clinic and, you know, be a part of what we're doing here. So, you know, it's fun with these videos. You know that this is a long-term investment I have made and that many of you have also made in watching and caring and witnessing. And you know that I've personally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically gone through a lot of changes and will continue to do so. And I'm also showing you things that will be changing and be part of the story and the journey. So yeah, Carrie Quinn, you know it. You know, you don't have to have kids to be a mama. You can have a bunch of pigs and goats and cats and plants. Great. I've been learning so many motherhood lessons. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can tell you. Let's find a space and I'll tell you what's going on with the puppies, because it's been heavy on my heart, and I've been having to do a lot of learning. Let's find a spot. Let's find a spot. Yeah, just the sound of his soul screaming. He just wants his freedom, but he's fine. Oh, Bryce, thanks. Thank you. You guys mean a lot to me too. Where should we go? Let's go. You know what, maybe I'll grab my ukulele. Let's see what's happening over here. Let's not abandon. I know, Victoria, isn't it great? Isn't it a beautiful plan?
Everybody
to Carlos. He's a sweet human being. Oh, he's a sweet human being. Oh. Okay. Hola Guadalupe. Buenos dias, amiga. All right. Let's just take the bags and let's find a spot. I think the doctors are having lunch now, so they're doing a pause. Oh no, not yet. They're almost there. Woo! Ooh. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Pascual.
Pascual.
Sí,
Pascual.
¿usted?
Eva.
Emma.
Eva, mucho gusto.
¿Cuándo?
Jueves en la mañana, mi amiga Gloria y yo vamos a hacer el proyecto con los ancianos para dar comida para las otras mes.
¿Qué hora?
Pienso que 9:30.
Va, está
Sí.
bien. Sí,
So-
solo va a preguntar la Daisy.
Ok,
Sí,
sí,
solo
ya,
va-
yo hablé con ella.
Ah.
Y quizás sí, este mesa,
Esto no tiene mesa para llevar a Marcos este.
Ah.
¿No tiene mesa usted?
Daisy, this table that you have here, can we use this for the old folks on Thursday? Is that
Yeah.
possible to leave it?
Vamos a guardar esto
Vamos a
aquí
guardar aquí.
y por el jueves.
Great, we got a
This
table.
is, you know, it's my table, but we use it for the registration for the dog clinics.
Okay. Okay, great. Actually, I need to check to see. Dr. Pablo is coming today to give the vaccines and medicines to the pups, and I had him shift things around to come later. Let's see. Yeah, okay.
Yes, period. Some dogs do that and some dogs don't, period. You can make a satellite
Okay, so let's go here. So people
head out of
are still waiting. Oh, hola Maria.
holding the bottom of the colander.
Mari, lunch good? Great. Okay. So let's go find a spot. We got the kiddos. We got the puppos. Yeah, happy puppy. Happy puppy. ¿Es tuyo? ¡Ah, qué bueno! ¿Cuántos años tiene? ¡Ah, cha, 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 cha! ¡Ah, cha, 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 cha! ¡Ah, cha, 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 cha! ¡Hey, hey, hey! Hay que cuidar, hay que cuidar. ¡Hey, hey, hey! ¡Ay, chuchu! ¡Ay, chuchu! ¡Ay, chuchu! ¡Ay, chuchu! ¡Ah, cha, 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 cha! No, hay que ser amable con los perros. Amable.
Punch.
¿Cómo?
Punch.
¿A punch? ¿Qué significa?
Es su nombre.
Es su nombre, a punch. Hi, a punch. Ay, cha, cha, cha. Okay, so let's go find a spot. Oh, there's a shady spot. Stella. Let's find this spot over here. We got some chairs to sit down. Look, it's a. Oh, cool. Yeah, great.
There's water if you want. Are
Yeah,
you?
thank you.
You want? Hey, I'm back. We just had our worker who brings lunch to the vet team show up, so I just had to run and help out with that.
You're juggling a lot of plates.
But this clinic today, the municipality did not do the loudspeaker announcement that they promised. And the last two clinics in San Marcos, we had the same problem. So Ava and I were talking, and what we'd like to do is take these matters into our own hands so that we can be more successful and not depend on undependable people or systems. So what we're going to try and do is get a big megaphone announcement and have somebody who's local, who speaks the local language, walk around in the local neighborhoods 2 days before the clinic and announce it. When we have under 20 animals, the vet team charges us a transportation cost to get here. So we've got a 20
How many do you
animal
have today?
minimum. I think Erin is bringing 4 or 5.
Okay.
So I think right now we're at 17. So with Erin's
that'll
will
push
be
it
a lot.
up. Great.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'd rather pay for sterilization than pay for transportation.
Yeah.
You know, even though it'll end up costing more, it'll meet our goal of sterilization. So, yeah.
Can you help us with something? That the little boy was like waving the stick at the dog, and he's just not treating it well. Like, how do you handle that? Because
It's a cultural thing. They don't treat dogs the way I do. So for me, I don't have kids. My dogs are my kids. They get snacks and treats, and you know, I take them on vacation if I can. Here, we're living in a community where they live in scarcity, and sometimes they don't have enough money to feed their own family, let alone the dog. They don't see dogs as family members. They see them more like workers or toys. So they hit them, they kick them, they tie them up on really short leashes and leave them there for a really long time without water. They beat them with sticks, they whack them with machetes, they have all kinds of things. And I don't want to assume that my cultural way is better than theirs and tell them what to do, but I will acknowledge that dogs have physical pain, and if you hit something, it hurts.
I feel like part of the work that you have to do is to empower people to understand how to care. Instead of doing it for them, to teach them, how do you care? Like, how do you care for these animals?
I completely agree. If they're open to being taught, and you can only teach them if you first are open to them teaching you. So when I first got here, you know, I come from an industrial country. I have a master's degree. Like, I'm super educated. You know, I know more than you. I'm going to help you. But it's not. It's cultural differences, and their opinions are as valuable as mine. I may have more education. I may have more access to information on the internet. I may be more literate and can read up on things, but that doesn't make their traditional values less valuable or wrong. So I learned, and it took me a decade to figure out their opinions, and their culture is just as valuable as mine. And if I listen to how they do it, they're more open to listen to how I do it. When I first got here, somebody told me if you put chili powder in puppies' food, they grow up to be the other guard dogs. And I was just like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I've heard that 20 times from locals. It's a belief system here. If you want a guard dog, you put chili powder in their food when they're a puppy. And I thought that was ridiculous. And now I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's true. Like, how do I know it's not true? Just because I didn't learn it from my culture doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. I'm not a fan of giving chili powder to dogs, you know. I personally don't like spicy food. Like, I would never do that. But I can't devalue their cultural belief system. I can tell them, oh, I read books on training dogs and I know other ways to do it as well. So that's what I can help with. But I can't tell them their way is wrong and my way is right, because nobody will ever learn if you tell them that.
Yeah, that's
right?
not the way to get
Just
people
like
to
when
listen
they,
to you.
right, when they tell me chili powder makes them a good guard dog if they're a puppy, you give them chili powder, I was just like, are you crazy? And I know the things that I tell them, which are valid and scientifically proven and all of that, they look at me and they're like, you're crazy. What do you mean women are equal to men? Where'd you get that from? You know? So we have to be open to understanding. But they do understand that dogs feel pain just like they do. And you can also explain that that dog is going to grow up to be a big dog, and it could bite you, just like you're hitting it. What relationship do you want with your animal? So, yeah, it's tough. It's a cultural thing, and everybody wants to come here and better the indigenous community, but it only works when we can humble ourselves and recognize that they know better than we do also on a lot of things. And that's it. Creates an open exchange.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That's one thing I love about the work that we're doing is this is something that we're here doing long term, which allows us to have the opportunity to create relationships and conversations over time. This is not just dropping in and like fixing it and leaving. This is something that we're doing long term, getting to know people in the community, having these conversations, getting to know families, getting to know the way life works. And then finding those ways to like, hey, where can we insert ourselves? You know, having gotten to know you, having gotten to understand like how your family works, your economic system, you know, your family system, and then to be able to like, hey, you know, like try this, and you know, are you like your dog is like your child in a way it loves you, it provides you protection and care, and it's loyal and it deserves your love and care, and you know, and here's maybe some information to support, and oh, and if you this little powder, like I'm giving the puppies probiotics, and I'm giving the probiotics to the people who are going to adopt them, and like, hey, this is a really special powder that will help the belly, and it's very expensive, and you know, it will really help your puppy, and it will make your daughter happy because the puppy's happy, and like, and so I'm only able to have those conversations because of the rooting in one place and investing long term. So that's, I think, one thing that's really cool what we're doing. We're investing long term in the dog population, not just coming in, this is right, this is wrong, fix it, throw some money at it. Like, no, like we're creating relationships.
We're creating relationships, and the kids will treat the animals differently. You know, the parents are very set in their ways. The children are still much more malleable. Yeah. And that's where a lot of change happens. Yeah. And this is kind of off topic, but I know somebody who's living in a hotel in another village here at the lake, run by a local family, and one of the kids has seizures about every other day. And she saw the seizure, and she started talking to the family about CBD oil, which is a derivative of the marijuana plant, which they're very against. And she, in course Spanish, did her best to try and explain that CBD isn't taking drugs or getting high. It's not the THC. And they were open enough because she's living in their hotel.
Well, she has a relationship with them.
She has a relationship, and they tried the CBD. 2 drops in the morning and 3 drops at night, and the kid hasn't had a seizure since then. Wow. Yeah, so she got them a bottle, which is super expensive here because, you know, we have limited access. But basically, he's not seizuring anymore. And that, to me, is amazing. And that's what we're talking about, building these relationships. Yeah, I'm gonna...
Wow.
That's the hubby.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God, my arm hurts.
Hey there.
Opa. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, so yeah, you know, these things, in a lot of ways it seems really black and white. Like, I want to go tell that kid, no, don't. And I did. I said, hey, don't. You need to be, like, nice to your animal. You need to be nice. And he just responded with the name of the animal. I said, okay. Okay. So, you know, really affecting change is a long-term investment. Really caring for other beings is a long-term investment. And that's actually something that I really appreciate about why I'm staying here and really having rooted down, is that I can invest in these relationships. I can invest in this positive change over time. Hi, Michelle. Hi, honey. Yeah. Okay, so Michelle says perhaps using Stella and Mama as examples of healthy changes that happen because of better and positive human interaction. Exactly. So a lot of times local people will be like, oh, wow, your dog. Ooh, your dog, like, what's her name? Like, they're really impressed with Stella. A lot of people want to adopt Stella. They ask me to give Stella to her. I'm like, no. They think that it's some, like, you know, fancy gringo dog that some expensive dog that I imported from someplace else. And I tell them, this is your street dog. Like, this is a dog from Pattaya. And I explain to them, I give her love, I give her food, I give her care, and this is what is making her turn into such a beautiful dog that you think is so beautiful. So this is one way, and a good example, Michelle, of like over time showing people, not just coming in like the white savior trying to tell people what they're doing is wrong, even though it obviously seems wrong. It's obviously the way the little kid was waving the stick at the dog, that's wrong. And when I see, like, just like seeing someone drop a piece of trash, like, that's wrong. But if we just come in being like, hey, don't do that, you need to do something different, without first establishing the relationship and trust, they're not going to have listening. I mean, how do you respond when someone tells you that what you're doing is wrong? Do you have, like, and you don't know, like, if someone you don't know comes in and like says, hey, the way you're living your life, this isn't right, you need to do it this way. Like, do you have listening for that person? Or are you like, who the hell are you? I don't know you, right? So the relationship is really where we can affect positive change, and that takes time, and so that also takes that patience and that willingness to stand in the discomfort, you know? And to recognize, like, everyone is innocent and everyone's doing the best they can, and they just haven't been taught. They just haven't been taught. So how do we teach them? How do we invest over time to teach them how to take better care of themselves, their families, each other? You know? What's that process? It's a process. So, anyways, let me, that's also something I'm really enjoying about, like, so for example, the elderly project, the elderly feeding project, it's giving me the chance to get to know certain families, and over time, like, now I'm recognizing them in the street, I'm knowing people's names more, it's sort of like my in the community. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. So, Yeah, and so that really, they definitely need better education. So that's one thing also to understand is like a lot of the big problems are, it's not because people are bad, it's because they're not properly educated. So actually, speaking of which, I will give a shout out to the Integral Heart family. They have a fundraiser coming up this week, and this is an example of the right way to do it. Mick and Deborah founded this organization many years ago, and they have invested long-term over time with these families to bring in children, to feed them, and to educate them. They also have a dog rescue, so they are teaching the children how to care for animals within this institution where the children are getting food, proper nutrition, they're getting love and care, they're getting education, they're learning to read and write, they're going on, like kids who graduate this program, they're getting real jobs. Like there's a nurse, there's an accountant, like these are kids who would otherwise be begging on the streets, growing into adults who are begging on the streets, or just living in subsistent living, you know, it's deeply ingrained generational poverty. So the real way to change is investing long term and really caring and creating these safe spaces where people do feel cared for and heard and seen and listened to, and not being told that they're wrong, not be told they're bad, because people aren't bad, they're not wrong. They're just not receiving the care that they themselves need. So if someone is not receiving the care that they themselves need, they're not going to know how to care for someone else. And you know, and that's a sad fact that a lot of the children here in Guatemala are malnourished. They are malnutrition is like a big issue in Guatemala. So, you know, it's like to help the animals, you know, first like helping the children. How do you help the children? You know, like so it can seem so black and white, and yet there's so many layers of complexity. And I don't know about you, but I'm committed to being part of the solution over time. You know. Let's check on. Great. So the vet is coming at 1 p.m. to do the shots and the vaccine and all the stuff. So that's great. I had to kind of switch things around because we had a smaller clinic, so I was planning to come here in the afternoon. Vet's coming in the morning. Finish the high vibe tribe call. Found out the vet that this clinic is low. Moved here. Moved the vet there so I can come here and be here to do this video to hopefully garner enough support to make this happen. Can you please, would you, I know, not the other people, I mean you. If you haven't already made a donation, would you mind? It would be a big favor to me. It really help me do this work that I'm talking to you about over time, relationships, making an impact. If you could throw in at least $10, that'd be great. $50 covers the surgery of 1 animal. $100 covers 2 animals. So I'm just going to check on how the fundraiser is doing. This is why it's great to have 2 phones, because you can do a video with 1 phone while checking on the fundraiser. So $430 from 10 people. Thank you guys so much. Yay! Thank you. So let's see. So Elizabeth Spencer, thank you. Terry Booker, thank you. Threw in $5. Great. If everyone watching now threw in $5, we would be doing great. Chanda, thank you, Chanda. Thank you so much, honey. Lori Barnes, amazing. Thank you for showing up. Victoria Connor, thank you. Kim Marsh, amazing. Sabrina Caldera, thank you, honey. Sorry if I butchered your name. Bethany Briggs, thank you for sharing your blessings. Sandy Calhoun, thank you, honey. Always appreciate you. And Jennifer Parker, amazing. So 10 people. Is it 10 people? 10 people just donated. Wait, how many do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 people. So there are almost 200 people watching, and 10 people have donated. So what stops you then from helping these animals? You know, like this work goes a long way to control populations, to prevent suffering. For feeding dogs, you know, so many people say they care, like, oh, why aren't you doing something to feed that dog? Okay, I'm here to do my part, but I need you guys to show up to help us buy the food. It's a big expense. I know it just from having a pack of my own dogs, what a big expense it is. So if you say that you care about the animals, here's an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is, and really appreciate it. So let's see. I'm really tired. I've not been sleeping well with the full moon. How do I control my emotions? We're hearing the dog distress. That's a really great question. Because I have the big enough picture to understand that that dog is fine and he's going through his own emotional process. And I am okay. I'm so okay enough in myself that I don't need to manage the experience of other people in order for me to feel okay. If that dog was being hurt, like, that would be one thing. But I know that, like, that little girl was just petting the dog. Like, the dog is not being hurt. The dog is going through a difficult moment because he doesn't have his freedom, because he's a street dog and he doesn't understand what's happening. But he's not being hurt. If that dog was in actual danger right now, I would stand up and I would insert myself, right? So, you know, it takes a lot of strength, personal strength, to stand with someone who is in discomfort and not try to fix it. It takes a lot of strength to let someone go through their own process and trusting that they're in their process, and not freak out and not suffer and not try to fix it, you know. So it's a good question. Yeah, Kathy, that's why you haven't been sleeping. Yeah, full moon, man. I do not sleep well. I do not sleep well when there's a full moon. He's a cute dog. So, guys, let's go. Let's see who's donating. We gotta raise $2,000, and it would mean a lot. I'm tired. I'm tired. Please, please, please. Please help us. I mean, I guess we can keep going this week. I really don't want to take away from the Integral Heart family. That's also why I stopped doing. I was taking some donations from my personal account for the puppy expenses that I've been taking on. From the puppy expenses I've been taking on, but I stopped. I wanted to stop because I didn't want to take away from this clinic, and I don't want to take away from the Integral Heart family. So anyways, so speaking of which, okay, so I'll tell you what happened. So I really wonder if Facebook is gonna get me for that music. Facebook really doesn't like it when there's music in my videos. I get copyright claims, and then Instagram says that, like, my video can't be showed in this country now. So I think let's wander away from that sound. Yeah, Amanda, we're just so sensitive. Hey, buddy. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's find a spot. Let's find a quiet spot. So renovation is continuing. Work is continuing. It'll be so cool. Hi, baby. It'll be so cool to, see how this place grows. I really need to pee. Okay, let's find a spot. This looks like a nice spot. I still hear the music, but look at that. All right, so here's what happened. Here's what happened with the puppy. So, you know, I've just been thinking the other day about, like, wow, you know, I've been having such a great experience with these puppies. Nothing really went wrong. It's been so pleasant and easy. Like what a great experience of motherhood. Nothing, like, they're like, yeah, you know, like really minor challenges. And like, you know, here I am about to adopt them out, and everything's fine. And then there have been 2 instances that have just been really hard, that I've been holding and processing over the last few days. So the first one was, the 6th puppy. So a lot of people have been asking about what happened to the 6th puppy. Did the 6th puppy die? What happened to the 6th puppy? And so no, the 6th puppy actually got adopted out. It got adopted out to Marcos, the guy who does a lot of maintenance on the house where I live. I told the story about how I told my landlord I was scared about how she would respond, but it actually worked out great. She sent Marcos to come and try to fix the fence. Keyword being, didn't work. But in the process, he got to see the puppies, and he's like, "Oh, my daughter wants a puppy," like, and so he came over after the puppies got their first deworming medicine. And I checked with the vet, and the vet said, okay, you know, if the puppies are eating puppy food, then yeah, they can be adopted out. So Marcos brought his daughter one day, and she fell in love with this little puppy, this little boy puppy, and she took him home that day. And so that was a couple weeks ago. And it seemed like it was fine. I checked in with him. Is the puppy eating? Yeah, it's fine. And the agreement was is you have to bring the puppy back for the second round of deworming medicine. So a few days before the appointment, which was supposed to be last week sometime, a few days before the appointment, Marcos and his daughter showed up with the puppy and brought the puppy back. And I was absolutely shocked. The difference between this puppy and my puppies was so notable. It was smaller. It wasn't as developed. It had almost like a slight scoliosis, like the spine was curved in this like weird, like it wasn't flat. The puppy was lacking a certain vitality. It was essentially malnourished. And I asked, like what happened? He said, oh, like it hasn't been eating as much because the other dogs. And it was just like, oh my God. So I plunged into like the deepest mom guilt, the deepest mom guilt of like, oh my God, what have I done? I shouldn't have let it go. Like I should have held on longer. It needed to stay with his mother. So the good news was that the doctor couldn't come the next day. And so I told Marcos and his daughter, like, listen, I really want to keep this puppy longer. The doctor's coming today, Tuesday. So I think I noticed the puppy's smaller than his brothers and sisters. And so the past couple of days we've been in a period of rehabilitation with Cafecito. Cafecito's really cute. So I'm really happy to say Cafecito's doing really, really, really well. I've been every meal has bone broth. I'm giving him kelp. I got the fancy expensive probiotics from the doctor, getting the apple cider vinegar, and I've been rehabilitating the puppy. And I'm happy to say, like, he's been gaining weight. He's doing really well. He's gotten his vitality. He's playing. Like, the life came back in him. So Cafecito has been rehabilitated, and he's on his way. And here's the thing, like Marcos and his daughter came to visit because she loves him. She loves her little puppy. They came to visit, and it was a good opportunity to do, again, we were talking about teaching them about how to properly care for the animal, because they're not bad people. They just didn't really know how to properly care, plus also like the mother. So I showed them how I prepare the food. I showed him the bones that I get from the market. I showed him, I do this caldo, this like broth, and I mix it in with the puppy food. I showed him the little packets. of the probiotics, and I said, okay, now, and I showed him, I literally prepared the food in front of him and his daughter and said, okay, so here's how you do it. And then I showed him how I have the special bowl and how I separate the puppy from the other dogs, and I sit with the puppy and I pet it and I give it love while it's eating to make sure it eats. I also showed him, I got these little like dried fish from the marketplace, and I showed them, look, I got this snack, and I showed them how I feed the puppy the little fish and how excited the puppy gets. So again, here's an example of they didn't know the right way to care for the dog because culturally there are differences. We treat dogs like our babies, like we give them snacks and treats and toys. And I pulled out the puppy pack and I showed the blanket, and she was like so amazed, like her eyes widened when she saw the blanket and the bowl and the collar. We put the collar on Cafecito, we did it together, right? So it was this learning moment that I was having with this family that I've been getting to know over time. It's not just me coming in and being like, you need to treat your dogs better. It's like, no, okay, sitting together, let's prepare the food together here, So that was a good experience. It also taught me a lot about the reality of malnutrition, because when Cafecito came back and there was a certain vacancy, he was lacking a certain vitality. He didn't have the buoyancy of the other puppies, right? And the crazy thing is, I have seen that look in children. I have seen that look in humans. Like, I have seen that lack of vitality in humans, and they're not being properly nurtured. It feels emotional. It feels really emotional for me, because people can look okay on the outside, but if they're not being properly nurtured, their brains don't function right, their emotions don't function right, they're not playful, they can be more emotionally unstable. So this is why it's important for me to nourish myself. This is why it's important for me to provide proper nourishment to my dogs. And this is also why it's important that we provide proper nourishment to children, because, you can say, oh, that kid's a bad child, oh, they have behavioral problems. And it's like, okay, well, are they getting probiotics? Like, are they getting enough healthy fats for their brain? Are they getting the proper nourishment that their immune system needs in order to be strong? So it's like, a lot of times we can see these outward problems and think that, oh, that's the problem on the outside. But really, it's like there is a much deeper problem that needs to be addressed on the inside. Stop putting the medicine on the leaves and put the medicine on the root of the tree. That's how you heal the tree, right? So yeah, exactly. So I'm learning a lot from the dogs. The dogs have been I'm learning so much about motherhood. I'm learning so much. So that's the first challenge. And then the second challenge is I went out the other day. I was gone just for like 2 or 3 hours. I wasn't even gone that long. I went to have a meeting with Ashley about the house. I went to go meet with Gloria's sisters about these super cool bracelets. I love the bracelets. And I came back a few hours later, and you know, puppies are all around my feet going crazy, all the craziness of coming home. And then after a few minutes, I'm like, wait a minute, something's missing, something's not right. And I realized that Fievel, the blonde puppy, was gone. It's like, Fievel. And I looked everywhere, and I couldn't find Fievel. And it's been a couple days now, and he's still missing. So I know he would not leave on his own. I'm pretty sure that he was stolen, because you know here is a healthy, well puppy, which is, you know, not a very common thing. And so I know people know that I have puppies. I don't suspect anyone, you know, from my immediate friends and family here in the community, but I think something happened and someone stole him. So it has plunged me into a lot of feelings. You know, I've done the best that I can. I've gone looking for him. I've asked Gloria to go into the village and talk to people, giving them a photo, like, have you seen this dog? I'm offering a reward for his return. I'm offering her a reward if she can find him. But it's been a big mothering lesson in, like, okay, I've done the best that I can to help him be strong, and nourished. You know, he got the best care that he could possibly get as a young pup. And now life has plans for him. So the irony is his name is Fievel. So Luke was going to take him. Luke was going to take Fievel, and Luke named him. And I was having a conversation, and I was like, you know, this is your fault. I was kind of joking, but like, this is your fault. You should have named him Fievel. So Fievel is a movie about a little mouse. Fievel goes west. Fievel, the mouse gets lost. He gets separated from his family, and he goes off and he has this incredible adventure, and he grows, and all of these things. And the whole time the parents are convinced he's dead, and they're suffering, and they're wailing and all these things. But it turns out the whole time life was taking care of Fievel. Like, life had a plan for Fievel. So Fievel went west. And I've been having to practice a lot of acceptance and trust and faith that, you know, he's okay. You know, I just hope that he's getting the care that he needs. And I know what's tough is, like, I know that I can provide him the best care. I don't know if whoever has stolen him is giving him the best care that he needs. Is he getting bone broth and all the things? Like, probably not. And I have to be willing to, like, let go. Like, that's my job as, like, his mother, his co-mother, is not to hold on and to enforce myself and to hover over him and to keep him prisoner. You know, my job is to love him and care for him, do the best that I can to nurture him, and then turn him over to life, turn him over to God. So those have been my challenges with the puppy. So Cafecito is recovering. Fievel is having his adventure out west, and I'm doing the best I can to just love on them. And the doctor's coming today. We're doing vaccines, we're doing deworming, we're doing more flea medicine, and then Gloria and her niece, Maria Luisa, are going to take 2 of them. Cafecito is going to go back to his human mother, who loves him very much. Saya is going to go to my neighbor, and actually the cool thing, so there are like these wins. There's like these hard points, but then there are also these wins. So like Ashley's boyfriend, Felipe, his dog had a litter of puppies around the same time. So, hey, if you're rolling in it, I don't like it. You know, it's rolling in grass is one thing. Smelling a spot, getting excited, and rolling in it is a completely other thing, Missy. If you like the smell of it and want to roll in it, I don't trust it. So anyways, yeah, Keisha, también, me too. It was also one of my favorite movies, which makes me want to rewatch it. But, you know, Fievel was okay. Fievel was fine. He was having his adventure, so that's the energy that I think Luke was tapping into when he chose the name for Fievel. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, you know, in the end, Fievel comes back. They're reunited. So, you know, my hope is that that's the case. And I'm just going to surrender until that happens. So, yeah, of course. So, yeah. Yeah. So it's been a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, not a lot of sleep. I'm very tired, I'm very drained, and I'm doing the best I can, showing up here today, doing my part with this fundraiser, hoping that you guys will do yours, because I can't do this without you. We can't do this without you. We literally cannot hold this clinic that we're having without the support of you guys who love dogs. And so I know these dogs are not dogs